All right, high rollers, very much looking forward to this. Spotted her on YouTube, a video titled New Vlog by Female Poker Player. So I checked it out, and I'm glad I did. Many others have as well. That video has close to 20,000 views now, and it's only a couple of weeks old. She's from Oakland, and I know she likes to snowboard. It's Just Christy B, and I say just because that's her handle, at Just Christy B on both Twitter and YouTube, Instagram as well. Christy, welcome to the show. Thanks for being our high roller today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Listen, I love your vlog. It's so well produced. It's a little bit poker, a little bit lifestyle. I know you're playing low stakes, but I gotta say, those videos are pretty much high roller.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's definitely new for me, so I'm having fun with it. And yeah, I'm not trained in video. I'm still training myself in poker, so it's an adventure.
Well, the videos are very well done. You said to me before the interview that you were shocked by the view counts, that you haven't got much experience with social media, so this whole thing has been very interesting for you.
Yeah, it really has. And for me, I think that's part of what I enjoy out of it. I am definitely more of a process-oriented person than an outcome-oriented person, so I really enjoyed the journey. So not knowing what was going to happen, I really did kind of start this project out of curiosity, and I hadn't expected there to be as much interest as I'm seeing already. So that's just part of the enjoyment, part of the fun.
Well, let's talk about the journey for a second, because I know you've got a background in art, mental health, the service, and the entertainment industry, and you're putting all of those things into the vlogs, correct?
Yeah, that's my goal. I don't think I can maybe put all those things in each and every one, but over time I'd love to touch on all those things in different ways.
Well, maybe the reason the view counts are so high and you've had such good response so far with these videos is the fact that there aren't many female poker vloggers out there, are there?
Yeah, in fact, that's part of the reason why I decided to start the vlog, because I enjoy watching poker vlogs. I watch all different kinds of poker videos, and I was just kind of sad to see that there weren't many videos being created by women. So even though I'm not a poker professional and won't offer the same thing that some of those poker pros that are making vlogs can offer, I at least wanted to get my voice out there to hopefully get the ball rolling, maybe get some more women interested in making vlogs.
So that's one of your goals. I've been checking out your stuff again. Kudos to you. Everything well produced. It's informative. You're getting great view counts. You're dealing with a wide range of topics. What kind of response have you got? Have you got mostly good response, or are there some trolls out there as well?
I think the trolls are inevitable, and I was expecting it just because it's YouTube. I think overall, people have been really encouraging, and also I consistently see the feedback like, oh wow, it's neat to see a woman out here. I haven't seen any women making vlogs, so this is really different. Thank you for sharing your perspective. That's something that I've seen really commonly, and I'm excited to see, because I think it means that there's interest, and there's been a lack of participation from female poker players. I also have seen some pushback, and I think that's just going to be natural. That's part of the process, and definitely some trolls.
Well, you know what we say to the trolls these days, right? Hashtag fuck you, pay me, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? If we can take that trolling into some live play and you can pay me, then it's like I got to troll you back in the best way possible.
You mentioned there's not a lot of female poker vloggers. Another thing I like about the videos is that you're playing primarily low stakes. You're a tournament player, but in one of the vlogs I saw you playing Cash Game 1-2. I like that because these are great videos for your average regular player, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. And I mean, I've gotten feedback from people in the comments that are like, "Why are you doing this? You obviously don't know what you're doing." And it's like, well, yeah, there's a way that I am very much still learning poker. I've only been playing for a couple of years, but the more people I meet at the tables, there's a lot of people that have that similar experience. They're like, "Oh, I'm just learning too," or "I'm also just a recreational player." People are asking in the comments like, "Oh, hey, I'm just starting out," or "I haven't even been to the casino yet, but I've been wanting to for a long time. So watching your video is informative in some way."
Well, I know that you believe gender matters in the poker room, and I gotta believe that most of those trolls are men. Can you tell us why gender matters and what you've learned about men and how they react to you when you're playing poker?
Well, I definitely think that everything matters when you're playing poker. I mean, especially live poker where you can see your opponent. I think you can say the same thing about anything else. Like if you're the only black person walking to a room of white people, that's something that will be noticeable. If you're the only older person walking into a room of young people, that will be something that's noticeable. And so poker has been this field that's historically dominated by men. There's not that many female poker players. There definitely are more now than I'm sure there was 10 or 20 years ago. But it's still very much this different experience. Like there's nowhere else in life that I can think of, at least off the top of my head, where I go, where I'm sometimes the only woman in that space. So for me, it definitely is a different feeling. I mean, I can't tell you what the people around me are thinking, but I know that for me, I'm like, wow, this is kind of strange. This is different. People might respond to me differently, and I'm going to feel differently based on the fact that I'm like, wow, I'm the only woman or one of the only women in this room. And I think when it comes to the actual play, there's like so much that I want to explore more. So maybe I'll save more of it for a vlog. But in part, I think, we go off of stereotypes as well as what we have observed from other players when we're playing poker. So if there's a stereotype that women don't bluff, then that's something that I can use to my advantage, right? Like I could maybe get more bluff through at a table, or I can maybe not get bluff through, but I can get called down by players that think I'm bluffing when I have a big hand.
Well, one of the things I like is that you do approach it. I mean, there's a lot of psychology in poker. Can you tell us about the fashion experiment? I was enthralled with that. One day you go into a poker room very casual with the aforementioned hashtag #FuckYouPayMe t-shirt that you created, by the way. And then another day you go in dressed to the nines. And you wanted to see what that was like and how people approached you.
Yeah, that second day felt really awkward, the day that I got really dressed up. Part of my nervousness, I hadn't played a cash game in a long time, so I was kind of just nervous to see how I would play in the first place. And I definitely was curious to notice my own actions and my own feelings based on how I looked. And I absolutely expected that I would get more looks and probably more comments when I dressed really sexy, which I think is, a lot of people would probably expect that, right? It's more maybe inviting more comments and more glances to dress really sexy. So yeah, when I dressed casually, I felt comfortable and really didn't talk to anybody. That was the main thing I noticed, that like nobody talked to me, and I preferred that. But when I dressed really sexy, got all kinds of looks and comments and conversations that for me were just a distraction. And instead of being focused on what I was doing, I was just like focused on people talking to me and having to respond to them. It really sucks to tell people. I mean, I think it's part of having boundaries as any person, definitely as a woman in a room full of men sometimes, to be like, hey, I'm not going to talk to you. So it's hard to do that again and again. Be like, hey, you seem like a nice person, but like, shut the hell up.
Right.
Like, you seem great, but I don't want to talk to you. It just gets old, and so it can be hard to do that. So a lot of times, it's that day when I dressed up really sexy, I found myself getting into conversations with people that I didn't really want to be in conversation with them. So that's part of the reason why I just was like, I kind of hated that day. I was like, I never want to dress like this in a casino again. Unless I'm not playing poker, then I probably won't care as much.
Well, I find that interesting because maybe this is a stereotype. I think that if you were dressing sexy, it would be the men at the table that are distracted. But you're saying it was you that were actually distracted.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible they were distracted too. Like, I can't read into their heads and tell you what they were thinking. But I know that I was distracted because of my overall discomfort with feeling watched by some people that I noticed were like looking at me or making a lot of comments. And I was distracted by this like obligation to speak to people. And I, didn't necessarily have to feel obligated. I'm sure other women would handle it differently. But when people make comments to me and start a dialogue, and this is actually part of where that #FuckYouPayMe hashtag comes in. I think I'm, in general, a really empathic person, and I am really good at socializing with people. I enjoy talking with people. You can see from the YouTube comments, like, I really enjoy people's comments a lot of times, and we'll start a dialogue with them. So responding and, like, being a part of that conversation is something that I actively have to turn off, and being empathic is something that I actively have to turn off. So #FuckYouPayMe, if nothing else, is a reminder for me to, like, all right, stop being empathic and, like, focus on your goal, which is to get paid.
Right.
You don't need to be empathic here. You don't need to be nice to people.
Yeah, you got to keep your eyes on the prize, right? The prize is getting paid at the end of the night. I know there's a lot of
Absolutely.
addiction in poker, a lot of sitting around. It's not always the healthiest lifestyle. What about poker and mental health, and also poker and relationships? What are your experience with those two topics?
Oh, that's like a big question. There's a lot to say about those two things. So personally, my husband is a poker dealer and a poker player for a long time. So that definitely came into our relationship when we started dating, and that's part of the reason why I learned poker, because I watched videos with him, I would learn strategy with him. I thought it was so fascinating. So eventually I started playing too. But yeah, I mean, there's a way that I see poker not as gambling. I think it can be gambling and it can be a game of strategy. So in our relationship, when poker became gambling and it was way more of an escape and way less of an enjoyable, like, strategic pastime, that's when we kind of had to pull the plug. And I
Right.
told my husband, I was like, look, this stops here or I'm moving your shit out tomorrow. So that was a really firm line in the sand, and we had been like going back and forth for things for a while. So it was no surprise that like eventually it's like we get to this point. So we both signed the self-restriction in California that prevents us from gambling in California card rooms. And I mean, people have all different kinds of things to say about that on YouTube, but it was definitely the right choice for us, and it's given us the time and space that we need to have a fresh perspective and I think a much healthier relationship with poker and stronger boundaries for ourselves. Because part of where addiction and those compulsive behaviors come from is needing a healthy escape from something difficult that's happening in life. So it's not a good idea to take the thing that you want to be serious about, that you want to really succeed in, and make that like a really bad coping strategy. So what works for me and my suggestion for other people is that find a healthy coping strategy when things are going wrong. It can be really easy to make a hobby or something you love into an addiction just by doing it too frequently and for the wrong reasons. So part of having a healthy relationship with poker is having an idea of, right, why do we play poker, when do we play poker, and how do we do it, and doing it for the right reasons and not for the wrong reasons.
Well, there you go. Well said, and some words of wisdom. I got to say, one of the things I like about your videos is that it seems that you have great balance in life. I mean, I know you love snowboarding. I saw you catching some NAR. By the way, I'm not a snowboarder. What is NAR?
NAR, oh my God. I have to remember it's an acronym. I'm looking it up right now. So there's a movie called NAR. It's called Gaffney's Numerical Assessment of Radness.
Gotcha.
So there is yeah.
The acronym, NAR.
There was a really active snow-loving person at Squaw Valley in Tahoe, California, that started this whole thing, Gaffney's Numerical Assessment of Radness. And it was like a way to challenge yourself to have fun and to be rad. So doing things like going down the ski slopes naked would give you like NAR points, or like jumping off like crazy like cliffs would give you NAR points. So it's just kind of a challenge that you can play with yourself and with your friends to have a good time. So catching NAR is just like doing some awesome stuff in the snow.
Yeah, I got the feeling that NAR was something very cool, so I feel like I get some NAR points today for talking to you. But it is important to have a balanced lifestyle, right? You're out there skiing because it's not all about poker. And when you do go play poker, you got to be refreshed and feel good about it and want to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sitting down for long periods of time is terrible. So yeah, definitely it's important to be active. And for me, poker is not my life. And I think it's important to know that. Like, I have a life well beyond poker. I'm just excited for it to be a small and valuable part of my life. And having those boundaries, like you said, are really important for maintaining a healthy outlook within the game.
Well, continued success. Good luck with the videos. Keep them going. They're very well done. At Just Christy B on Twitter and YouTube, Instagram as well. I think the B stands for badass. A new vlogger on YouTube. Puts a lot of work into the videos. You got to check her out, poker fans. At Just Christy B. Thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to talk with you.